Hello dears, in this class I want to teach you model auxiliary, but before that I want to introduce myself. So my name is Ihsan Faiz and I'm master of English and I've been teaching English grammar for a long time. So in this class I'll teach you model auxiliary. So we have model auxiliary have to, has to and had to. These three model auxiliary I will teach you. Have to, has to. We use have to, has to for the present and had to for the past. Have to, has to. Have to with I, we, they, you and plural subject. Has to with she, he, it and singular subject. While had to with all I, we, they, you, she, he, it singular or plural subjects. With all we use had to, but this is for the past and this is for the present. We will say have to and has to and had to. Okay, now look at these sentences so the picture will be clear. I have to send a message. I have to send a message. So it means that this is my responsibility to send a message. This is my duty to send a message and I must send a message. So these meanings are the same. If you say I have to send a message, so it means that this is your responsibility, this is your duty and you must send that message. So in these meanings we can use have to, has to and had to. Have to, has to for the present while had to for the past. Now how to use negative or interrogative of these model auxiliaries. Look at this sentence. I have to send a message. Have to, we have written here have to. This is model auxiliary which shows the sense of responsibility or duty, or you must do this work. So I have to send a message. When we want to make negative, so we will bring another model auxiliary and that is don't, do, not or only do. So in the case of negative we will say I don't have to send a message. If I say I have to send a message, I don't have to send a message. I will not say I have to send a message because that's wrong. We will bring the auxiliary don't. So we will say I don't have to send a message. And if you want to make interrogative, so then we will bring here just do in the beginning. So the interrogative will be made in this way. Do I have to send a message? Now look at this one. She has to send a message. As I told you that with he, she, it in singular subject we will use has to. She has to send a message. And if you want to make in negative, so negative, she doesn't have to send a message. As we use do with I, we, you and does with she, he, it. In the same way we will bring here to make negative in interrogative. So here she does not have to send a message or she doesn't have to send a message. Now you see, if you want to make interrogative of this sentence, she has to send a message. So we will make in this way, does she have to send a message? Now look at this one, does she have to send a message? Now here we use she has to send a message. With she we use has to. But if we want to make interrogative, so then we will not use here after she has to. We will use have to. Like this I have used here. Does she have to send a message? Because you have already expressed the subject verb agreement of she with does. So we do not need to use here has to because already here is does. So does she have to send a message? Now look at this sentence. Number 5, I had to send a message. I had to send a message. This is past tense. And if you want to make negative or interrogative, we will bring another modal auxiliary in that it did or did not. So I had to send a message. The negative we will not make in this way. I not had to send a message. This would be wrong. We will bring here didn't. So we will say I didn't have to send a message. I didn't have to send a message. And if you want to make an interrogative, so did I have to send a message? Now here if we use did, then after I we will not use had to. We will use have to. Did I have to send a message? Now here, she didn't have to send a message. As we differentiate in present tense, have to, has to, we use she has to with she, it, and have to with they, you, we. But in past, we can use had to, this had to, with all, with she, he, it, they, you, we, and all with singular and plural subjects. For example, look at this one. She didn't have to send a message. Now, if you want to make she didn't have to send a message. If we say she had to send a message, she had to send a message. And if you want to make negative, so we will say she didn't have to send a message. She didn't have to send a message. And if you want to make an interrogative, so we will make did she have to send a message? Now look at this one. If you want to make an interrogative, so if we say did she, now here we will not say had to. We will say have to. Did she have to send a message? And this is past tense of this auxiliary in interrogative form. So did she had to, this would be wrong. Did she had to, this would be wrong. So the right one, did she have to send a message? So these were the important points which I made clear. Thank you very much. Bye bye.